I'm going to go straight into the coaching stuff right now because we don't have a whole lot of time. So for my Winston player, have you ever played in a dive comp?
Yeah, I guess.
Okay.
Yeah.
All right. So the big three things, right? So Winston is you're going to be utilizing 3 kind of different dives here. So the first one obviously is like the regular dive, right? So you're diving, your diva is going to be protecting you, your tracer is going to be hitting the flank and following up, and so is your Genji, and they're going to be following up on your kill, and you're going to kill something. Pretty simple. In order to do that, you have to have space and you have to be set up properly, which is like through staging and stuff. So we're going to talk about that. But the second dive you're going to be using, the second dive you're going to have is called a soft dive. And a soft dive is to just take space. So if everyone could like imagine Hollywood first point right now, so a lot of times on the first point defense, they're going to be holding that high ground. So a soft dive would be our monkey. He jumps onto the high ground and he puts his bubble down, but he's just playing, he's zapping them. He's just playing defensive. He's not like pushing into like the back stairs or something to try and get a kill. He's just trying to force them back. And then if he takes too much damage, he just drops off the side in line of sight of his Ana and then resets, gets his cooldowns and goes again. So a soft dive is going to be something that's going to be super, super useful for you to be taking your space and then helping your team move forward to allow you guys to set up for like the actual dive. And then lastly is going to be your counter dive. And say they dive our Ana. Just a counter dive would be really, really good for our monkey just to jump back and jump onto our Ana and bubble our Ana. And so you want to look for those kinds of times where you can use your counter dive to like help your team. And I'm going to be showing you before the map to like some places where you might want to try and counter dive. So Diva, you are the Swiss Army knife of this composition. You can dive, you can counter dive even better, and you can protect everybody. You can stop the enemies healing with your defense matrix because they're going to have an Ana. We already know that. You can do a lot of damage. You can poke out squishies. You're the Swiss Army knife of this composition. The main thing, though, is that you want to be enabling our Winston for his dives. So when he's jumping through the air, right, he doesn't really have any protection. He's open to being poked. So when he's jumping through the air, we want to be defense matrixing him so he can land safely and get his bubble off. And then once he gets his bubble off, that's time when you can start shooting things. You can start looking around, paying attention to what the other team is doing and seeing like if your supports are getting dive or something. Because then you're also a counter diver where you can then turn tail back and like matrix your supports and poke out the squishies and stuff like that. It's so really open-ended like how you play Diva. So what I want you to be doing mainly is just facilitating, helping your Winston rotate through, your team rotate through to get set up for staging or to get set up for the dive. Because when you're setting up for the dive, you want to avoid poke as much as possible, because if your Winston is at 200 HP and he tries to jump, he's going to die. So you want to make sure he's at full HP, he's ready to go, and you're going to be one that helps facilitate that by using your defense matrix and stuff like that. Okay?
Okay.
All right, cool. Tracer, who's my Tracer player? Busy. Hello, Tracer. Okay, cool. Tracer's like my main character, so it's really fun, and I hope I can help you out today. The biggest thing, right, is we want to have communication. So from our monkey player, he's going to be kind of communicating where he's going, where he's trying to set up, and who he's looking at. And it's your job to be getting set up on the flank angles to be able to follow up on them. You're sort of like the main like mid-fight damage for this composition, because we have Genji, who is, as everyone knows, has a really good ultimate, but not the greatest like damage output sustain. So you're going to be the main follow-up. So Fizzy and Minty, you guys are best friends now, so can you guys tell each other like your voice so we can hear each other? Or Fizzy and Stalker, my bad. Stalker's our monkey. Sorry, Fizzy and Stalker. You guys can be friends if you want. Yeah. So the biggest thing is like you're staying alive, you're following up on his dives, and then you're just paying attention and seeing who's low. Okay. Genji, you're going to be doing sort of the same thing. 999. Are you our Genji player? Mm-hmm. Okay. Yeah. You're sort of the same thing as Tracer, except you just can't go as hard as she can, and you're not going to be doing as much damage. It's really important for you to have like open ears and open eyes so you can see targets that you can finish off, because you're not going to want to be committing. You're the main poke damage in this comp. You're going to be the one, you're just going to be sitting off to the side. You're going to be poking them a lot out when like they're rotating and when they're diving. You're trying to build your blade. You're sort of a blade bot in this comp just because it's really difficult for you to dive, right? They have a Brig. The Brig's going to smack you in the face. They have a monkey. He's going to zap you. They have a diva who's going to boop you around and stuff. So your goal is you need to be playing very careful in this comp, but paying attention to your team, listening to your Tracer, your Winston. Whenever they're calling out somebody low, it's really important for you to be able to follow them up on that. Okay. My Brig player. Where's my Brig player?
Yeah, that's me.
All right, TK. So your packs will be mostly used for Tracer and Genji. That's like the biggest thing about this composition. Since we have the Ana, we want to be building Nano really quickly so we can use it for engages on our monkey or as well as for comboing with Nano Blade. And so the main tank healing is going to be mainly for the Ana. It's also easier for Brig to just be throwing packs to Tracer and Genji. And you're also, obviously, you need to save packs for Ana as well.
Yeah.
The Brig and the Ana are basically, you guys are going to be best friends in this comp as well, because the Brig is basically protecting the Ana from the dive. So even if you're like, say we're on second point, Gibraltar, right? We're playing defense. We're on top of the ship. You're Brig, right? You're not being able to smack anything, but that's fine. You're going to be there. You're deterring the dive. You don't need to be on the ground or you don't need to be anywhere forward, because when the dive inevitably does come, you will be getting a ton of value by just being with your Ana. So you're going to be protecting our Ana here. And then on maps like Oasis, which we're probably going to be a little closer quarters, we're going to be brawling and stuff, you're going to get a ton of value because they don't have, in this composition, there's not a bunch of burst damage from like a hit scan headshotting you. So you want to be brawling as much as you can while keeping an eye on your Ana to keep her alive and protect her from the dives. Okay, Ana. Where's my Ana player?
Hey.
Hello, Minty. All right.
How's it
So
going?
once
Let's
again, let's go. Once again, to reiterate, you're going to be mainly healing our Winston and our Diva. We're going to be trying to build your nano boost really quickly. So like our first ult rotation will be like using the nano on the Winston when he's engaged to keep him in the fight and potentially winning off of that. And then your second nano will be like for a nano blade, something like that.
Yeah.
It'd be really important for you to pay attention to the Diva, because if you get your sleep eaten or your nade eaten, it's going to be very bad for you and your Brig. The best thing, right, is so your Brig is going to be with you. Say they're diving you. If you can hit a nade on yourself and your Brig gets a healing aura off, it's going to be a ton of healing, AoE healing, and they're not going to be able to kill you. So just remember that. But the Diva is going to be trying to eat your nade, so pay attention to that. Biggest thing is when you guys are in rotation, force things out, get set up, get your HP, and then set up for your dive, okay? If you guys need to clear things out together, that's totally okay. Just call for help, say like, all right, we're clearing out Tracer on left, we're pushing left, take her out, push her out, and then set up for your dive.